Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all good? Oh, so y'all listen. Now let's get into the part of episode 8 of Heart and Hustle Houston. The secret's out. That was the finale episode, right? I said I was gonna come back and talk about Elena and Muneera. So now let's get into their little situation, alright? So Elena arrives. The ladies can tell something is off with her. She says it's because she was anxious about getting there. So right there they can already see that something is up. They go to a wine tasting. Muneera says that she could tell that Elena's energy seemed a little low. Then we get over to dinner and we meet Chef 7. And Chloe, she was flirting, just having a good time. And here come miserable Mabel, honey, talking about, did you forget about Jordan? And see, I'm not the one to play with like that, especially when I know what you're trying to do. And on top of that, you already came in here in your feelings anyway. And the way my mouth is set up, it would have been a quick, did Josh forget about you? So see, find you something safe to do. But Chloe says that she doesn't have a ring on her finger and she doesn't put all of her eggs in one basket. So this is what Elena says.
So you have developed a relationship like this and y'all aren't exclusive? That's weird. And I've always said I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket. I never do that in a relationship. I'm not married to anybody. Does he know that? He know that.
You attacking me for no reason at this point. Like, let it go. Girl, go heal.
And I was with Chloe. Girl, go heal. Cause don't hurt people me. I didn't do anything to you. Then they get on the topic of Elena and Josh going to therapy. She says that the session was really heavy and that he shared a couple of things and took accountability for a couple of things. So what did he leave out, Elena? Because if he laid all his cards on the table, you would have said he shared everything. He didn't leave anything untouched. They wanted to know what did he take accountability for, and that's when she tells them about the investments which caused their money to dwindle. Chloe, like most of us, wanted to know what kind of investments. Elena says that it was day trading, but it's how she worded it that threw me off, okay? Because how she described it when she was talking in her confessionals and with Dr. Angela, she said he lost all the money. But with the girls, it came off as if she was trying to protect him once again and make it seem like it wasn't as bad as it really was. Because just investing money and trying to get it back doesn't automatically mean that you lost it, because stocks go up and down. However, if he sold it for less than the original price, then that would be a loss, especially if he was doing revenge trading where he lost on one trade and started making new ones as if he thought he was recouping money. But each trade is a new investment, so there's no such thing as recouping your money. You're not getting the money back that you lost. No difference than if we were to go over the bridge to the dog track and bet on the dog. If that dog loses, you ain't getting that money back. All you can do is bet on a new dog, which means you're putting up new money in hopes to win. But you'll have to top what you just put on the last one so it can sort of feel like you like a win-win. So Muneera, she wanted to know if Elena trusted Josh, and she says that he knows that she doesn't trust him. Ro felt like Josh should have been put out the house, and she wanted to know if Elena would get a divorce. Elena says she can't stay in that space and she's not in love with him. And when she said that, they were all looking like, well, they were shocked. But I'm glad that she got it out, because it was clear as day that she wasn't seeing it for Josh the way she tried to pretend that she was. So Latoya was like, Elena, you're not in love with him? And she says, would you be sleeping in separate rooms if you were in love with someone? Latoya says, well, some people do. And Chloe says, not if you're in love. You don't sleep in separate rooms. Now, I don't know what they talking about, but I understood completely what Latoya was saying, because there are plenty of people who are in love and they sometimes sleep in separate rooms, whether that's because they're on different work schedules, maybe they just don't want to be up under nobody that night, they may have insomnia, it could be anything. But I don't like how they were talking to Latoya. I didn't like that. Labrina says that she isn't shocked that Elena isn't in love with Josh because they didn't even look like they were in love. And again, I was with Chloe. That's why you weren't wearing your ring. It wasn't about the outfit you had on, that you didn't feel like the ring didn't match with what you had on. That was your excuse to avoid talking about what was really going on. That's why y'all were sleeping in separate bedrooms and not getting it in, while you sitting over there with Labrina talking about, and we might be in separate rooms, but when we come together, it's never been a problem. Girl. It sounded crazy when you said it, because even when you said it, I was like, that girl lying. She lying. It didn't even sound believable. Like Chloe said, it's time to let that go. So Muneera says to Latoya, quote, a lot of times when you go through a lot, you can fall out of love with someone. Then you hear Labrina say, yeah, it be that resentment. And Muneera says, quote, yeah, resentment. Resentment is heavy. It was really like a dark cloud just hanging over you. She was talking about the resentment. The it was the resentment. She said, yeah, resentment. Resentment is heavy. It was really like a dark cloud just hanging over you. She wasn't calling Elena a dark cloud. And Muneera goes on to say, quote, and we all felt it. We all felt that energy time and time again. And it got to a point where we wanted to be there for you, but at times it would be difficult because it's like we're starting to consume that negative energy and don't really know how to handle it. End quote. Then in Elena's confessional, she says that she has issues with Muneera's dark cloud comment because as a friend, she doesn't think that it should be labeled dark cloud. What do you want her to call it? Light gray? Listen, I'm not a sensitive person. Give it to me straight. I'd rather have a hard truth than a soft lie any day. Don't tiptoe around me. Don't be trying to handle me with no kid gloves. See, Elena, in my opinion, can function better with a Labrina. Because Labrina is going to gentle parent. She going to hold hands. Y'all might even skip down the sidewalk. Me? I'm going to give it to you scared straight in first 48. Alright? Because you going to snap up out of this, baby. we going to pull you out of this dark hole that you in. we going to bring you back to happiness. Because one thing people going to say about you is that you're pretty, that you're fine. But guess what? That don't even be enough. You was pretty and fine when he cheated. You were pretty and fine when he messed off all the money. And people want to say, well, I mean, I think he should be happy to be with her. Or it's like y'all have this thing where you always talk about how a person is and they a good person, they this and they that. You know that as being their friend. You're not in a relationship with them, so you don't know how the person is in a relationship. So then Elena asked the ladies if she'd been carrying, that around with her. And they were all like, yes, ma'am. Not all the time, but you do. Rose says sometimes that she doesn't even want to say anything. Then here comes Elena with that again, talking about she's going to work through it and fight through it. And Rose asks a good question. Do you want to, or do you think you're supposed to? Are you going to be really happy with this situation? And how much longer are you going to try to make it work? Is there going to be a time where you're going to stop? And when Elena responded with, quote, I'm going to wait until God tells me the direction to take, end quote, I was like, no, ma'am, I am not going through this again. Nope, I don't want to hear it. And a couple of people have already said that Alaina and Josh give Mel and Martell. And I don't want to relive that. I don't want nothing to do with the Mel and Martell of it all. And I can see why folks say that, from coming on the show as if everything was good, to finding out that it wasn't, to Josh talking about how he built Elena and her business up, to him not even being worth a cuss in the end. But if this is what they're trying to bring us, if a second season happens, I will mute her scenes. Especially if for some reason she's in a scene and he slides into the frame the way Martell did at their maternity shoot. Yeah, no, I ain't doing it. I don't want no parts of it. And I'm so over women claiming that they're waiting on God, when God has already spoken to you, and probably more than once. And I bet you convinced yourself that you were hearing your own voice and not God's. And most often it's because you're not ready to move. You're not ready to leave what is comfortable. But one thing God will do is make a situation so uncomfortable for you that you can't do nothing else but leave. You'll be pulling at your hair like, I can't take it no more. I can't take it. I got to get up out of here. Whether it's a marriage, a job, an engagement, whatever it is, He will make it so uncomfortable that you can't do anything but leave. Ask Jonah. Ask Abram and Lot. Ask Ruth and Naomi. Ask David and Saul. Y'all be hollering about the Bible and discernment and waiting, but you could tell who studies and who only reads the Bible. But we're not even going to get into that. So in her confessional, she says she loved the ladies, but they are still talking about her marriage, and she's the one going through it, not them. She's the one feeling the pain, and she's not ready to hear anyone else's opinions. Now I'm going to come back to this once we get to her and Muneera. So we get to breakfast. Latoya brings up the dark cloud comment, and this is something that Latoya does that makes people feel like she's messy. But Elena wants to know from Muneera, why would you say dark cloud? Chloe was like, cause you had a dark cloud hanging over you. But Elena says she didn't. So Muneera says that she's about to explain, and she wants Elena to take it in and not be in defense mode. Now Elena's whole face already gave that she was in defense mode, while she's standing up there saying that she wasn't. Yes ma'am, you are. Your whole demeanor, your facial expression is giving defense mode, like it's your default setting. So she wants to say, as your friend, I would not have said dark cloud. I would make sure you're good. Well ma'am, even with me making sure you're good, that's not going to stop me from saying that I feel like there's a dark cloud hanging over you. Now, I want y'all to listen to this part.
So we haven't checked on you? We haven't made sure you're good?
I would say no, not through the entire process. Not through the entire process, Muneera.
Because you weren't sharing it with us. We didn't know it first. You were acting like everything was good.
Elena, you even saying that I wasn't there for you, I didn't check on you. What?
Through the entire process, no.
And this is what I be talking about when it comes to Elena. It's like she wants you to be there, but she doesn't. Because you just said in your confessional that you love the ladies, but they are still talking about your marriage, and you're the one going through it, not them. That you're the one feeling the pain, and you're not ready to hear anyone else's opinions. But at the same time, you want folks to be there for you through the entire process. I want you to be here, but not too much. I want to hear what you say, but don't say it like that. You can say this, but don't say that. Like, make up your mind. Ro was like, well, we weren't sure if we should check in because you were making it seem like everything was all good. Elena tells Ro that she wasn't talking about her. She was talking about Muneera. And Muneera can't even believe she's saying what she's saying. And she lets it be known that what you're saying, Elena, is not accurate. So now we're going to have to break the rest of this down using sound bites so that we can all get the full context. And this is covered under the Copyright Act of 1976, Section 107 for fair use. And I'm going to do a listen and response for commentary and criticism purposes. So let's get into it.
Okay, Elena doesn't feel like I support her, but she's also failing to tell the whole story. At the time, I was going through not one, not two, but 7 different deaths in my family in a short time period. And although she was going through the loss that she experienced, I'm human too. And we never talked about what I was going through. What you want is somebody to call you every single day and check on you every single day. I can't do that. I can't give that to you.
I don't
But there were
expect that at all.
several times where I have done that. I have done what I could, and I have checked on you time and time again.
This is my first time hearing about the things that Muneera was going through. This is also my first time knowing that Elena wasn't there for Muneera the way Elena wants Muneera to be there for her. I haven't even heard Elena say how she's shown up for Muneera, but I most definitely have heard her say several times how she feel like folks aren't showing up for her. And then when Muneera says, well, you want somebody to call you and be there for you every single day. Absolutely not. That's not what I want. Well, what do you mean about the entire process then, when you told her that she wasn't there for the entire process? Explain yourself.
I cannot take that much negative energy over and over.
Negative? I don't think it was negative.
And why do you feel like it wasn't negative, Elena? If I'm telling you the way I experienced you, when we would have conversations about what you were going through, as it was like it was negative, it was real heavy. And at that time, I didn't have the capacity to hold on to what I was going through and hold on to what you were bringing me. Because it was just too heavy. It was it was like so negative. And if you don't feel like it was negative, why you got the nigga sleeping in another room? Huh? Why you remove him from the business if it wasn't negative?
I don't think what I gave you was negative energy. It's just simply being transparent and telling you what I'm dealing with.
And we all tell each other what
the
you're
thing
dealing
is, I'm
with,
always
or what
going to
we're
check
dealing
in.
with.
I'm always
We
going
checked in, Elena.
No, I'm gonna be honest and say no.
Honest.
Elena, even in your transparency, it's still, for her, she received it as being negative energy. That's because you were going through a traumatic experience, and it came off like a heavy emotional energy, if you want to say that, and everybody could feel it. She's not saying that you were toxic. She's not saying that you were a bad person. You said it yourself. The weight of it all was too much, and that's how they felt it. That's all she's saying to you. She's not calling you a bad person, but you got to understand, if you're having repeated conversations about somebody cheating on you, stealing all your money, it's going to feel draining to the people that you're talking to. Especially if in that moment of whatever they got going on in their personal life, they may not be equipped to handle that type of an emotional load like that. And she's not telling you that she didn't want you to talk about it, because she wants you to talk about it. She wants you to get out of that heavy, she wants you to get that burden off of you. That's all she's saying. And she's not calling your pain negative. But when you sit in something long enough, the mental and the emotional heaviness of it all can be seen and felt in everything you do. How your facial expression is, how you talk, how you snap on people. That's all she's saying.
I think there's a level of expectation that she may have had.
But you can't have these levels of expectations if you don't extend the same thing.
I think I do.
But I don't think you do. Friendships are a two-way street. You're not the only person going through things. I'm not the only person.
I definitely don't.
Can you not take offense to every single thing that I'm saying? Because I feel like every time I talk, you cut me off. No, I don't like that, because I can't even get my thoughts out without you like cutting me off in the middle of it. And then it's like you're dissecting everything that I'm saying word for word for word and not taking in what I'm trying to convey.
We can bring it down too.
And that's when I would have walked out. Because what do you mean? Oh, we can bring it down. She ain't even brought it up. She hasn't raised her voice at you not one time. And Chloe was right. Stop cutting her off. You did it several times while she was talking. You was being very dismissive. And it's like you just wanted it to be about you and not for her to tell her truths or how she feel about the situation when it comes to, hey, you don't be there for me like you want me to be there for you. What are we talking about right here? Talking about you can bring it down. I'm going to bring it down, all right?
Okay. But again, when I talk like that, is because I'm getting irritated because you keep cutting me off in the middle of my sentences and you're not allowing me to speak my entire thought process.
Go ahead.
So it's getting interrupted. Okay.
And she's still doing it. She is trying to tell you the reason I may sound like this is because I'm getting irritated by what you're saying. Elena is still saying, okay, go ahead. Okay, go ahead. Why are you doing that? You're still cutting her off. You're still interrupting her. You're still dismissing her. Why are you doing that? Because if this how you are trying to handle me, I could just imagine how you be trying to handle Josh behind the scenes. Or did you learn this from him? I'm not Josh. And you're going to find that out pretty quickly. If you keep playing, you need to find you something safe to do, girl. I'm trying to tell you now.
My close friends would never say dark cloud. My close friends wouldn't say, I don't want to call you every day. They would be like, I see what you're going through.
Y'all have history. Y'all are good friends. What are we doing? We didn't come here for this. I think that Elena is going through something. So everything is triggering her. Everything is bothering her. She's just not in the right, happy, healthy space.
If you come to me and you're dealing with something heavy, I'm not going to use those words with you where I feel like you're a burden.
Elena, let me tell you
I'm never going to, I just as a friend would never use that for you. And that's it. That's it.
Elena,
that's all.
You know my heart. I have a pure heart. You don't know my heart?
No.
And you won't ever know it again. I bet you that. I bet you won't ever know it again. And she loves being spiteful. She has a way of throwing digs at people. Because to stand up there and say, well, my real friends, you are telling her that you don't feel like she's a real friend because she didn't come to you in a cupcake dish the way that you want her to. If that's the type of friendship that you want, that's what you need to say. That's why I say, if you have somebody that come to you and they say that they need to talk, you need to ask 3 questions. Do you just want me to be a shoulder? Do you want my opinion? Or do you want my advice? Because those are 3 different things. If you just want me to be a shoulder, that means you just want me to listen to what you have to say because you just want to get it off your chest. If you want my opinion, that means you're telling me something and you want me to either tell you what I would do in the situation or what I would not do in the situation. And if you want my advice on what you're going through, that means you're asking me, okay, well, what should I do? Or what do you think about this? That's when you want my advice. So you have to make it very clear what you want from me. That's why you have to ask these questions, and that'll let you know what they are expecting from you as a friend. In this situation, these are my expectations. This is what I want. That even goes so far as when somebody is going through something really traumatic and they're crying, there are some people who want you to hold them, and there are some people who don't want to be touched. And the worst time to find that out is when they're going through it. So Elena needs to be clearer on what she wants and expects in a friendship, because evidently she cleared it up in a marriage. But in my opinion, Muneera was not calling Elena a dark cloud. She clearly said the energy that was hanging over you was like a dark cloud. Then all of the women agreed. Some of them even seemed to have felt relieved that somebody finally said it. It's like they've all felt that way or maybe had conversations about it. They just didn't know how to present it to Elena. To me, Muneera was saying to Elena that what you were going through in your marriage is consuming you. When you would come around, there was a transference of energy. And I know some people are like, well, she could have said something else, or she could have worded it differently. Yeah, but listen, everybody ain't got time to tiptoe around your feelings. As a friend, you either want me to be honest or you don't. And my honesty may not come wrapped in gentle words and back rubs. Elena seems to want to be Labrina. And if that's the case, that's the person you should be sharing things with. Then for her to say, as a friend, she felt like Muneera shouldn't have said dark cloud, but in the next breath, at that breakfast, saying that Muneera wasn't there for her through the entire process. Girl, you act like that lady doesn't have her own life and wasn't going through her own things. And as you have seen, Elena can't be petty. She just doesn't like it when that same type of energy is given back to her. She did it with Josh when she was talking about the journaling, when he came to see her spot and he was like, and I know you like to be in the bedroom journaling, and she was like, yeah, it's beautiful. And in that review I said, oh, that must be something that they argue about, Because listen to how she said it. She did it to Chloe at Labrina's pool party when she called herself trying to comfort Jordan. She did it with her mom when she said that her friends were the ones teaching her self-care. And she did it again to Chloe when she got in her feelings that Chloe was flirting with Chef 7. She takes little digs at people, and it always comes off as either a projection or subliminals. And she did it again when Labrina tells her that her and Muneera needs to talk. So when she went to talk, she starts it off by saying, I love you and I hope you understand that. And Muneera says that she doesn't understand it, because how can you say that you don't know my heart, but you say that you love me? And the next part of it all was really crazy to me, because Elena says, I love you like a sister, but then turned around and said, I genuinely love you and I love you like a friend. So do you love the lady like a sister or a friend? But she's still saying that she doesn't feel like Muneera is there for her. And she doesn't like the dark cloud comment and feels like Muneera is minimizing her pain by saying she comes with a dark cloud hanging over her. And that word is triggering for Elena. So if it's triggering for you, I will try my best not to say there is a dark cloud hanging over you. When I'm not calling you the dark cloud, I'm saying that's what it feels like. But at least she did admit that when she said that Muneera didn't know her heart, she said she did it on purpose. That it was a jab. She was being spiteful. And she does it a lot. I just did that little situation right there. So I get at the end of the episode when they were telling what each woman was doing, and they said that Muneera and Elena's relationship is still rocky. Oh baby, it's gonna stay rocky. It can be rocky, it can be sand, it can be leaves. What it ain't finna be is on a smooth path right now, because I'm gonna have to give her time to get over all this that she going through and actually coming to the real healing that she's been saying that she's working towards. She gonna have to get towards that. She gonna have to get on up in that first, because baby, we ain't finna keep going through this. We not finna do it. No ma'am. Now y'all get down in the comments. Let me know what y'all thought about this situation between Elena and Muneera. Let me know, did you feel like Muneera was calling Elena a dark cloud, or was she talking about everything that Elena was going through? In my opinion, like I said, the girl don't like it. Don't say that she was coming with a dark cloud over her head. It's gonna be kind of similar to when I think Latoria said that you look cutesy or something and you didn't like it, and don't say that. Look, just don't say it. Alright, but y'all get down in the comments. Let me know what you think. Thank everybody for being here and supporting this video. I really appreciate it, and I'll talk to y'all later.